Hello YouTubers from Twisted Pine. We're going to go over today some things that a lot of people ask me about. The clearing costs. After you buy land and that you've decided you like and where you might want to put your home, sometimes you have to do some clearing. And for us that meant about a quarter mile of clearing for the drive going up to where the house is going to be, about 0.25 acres where the house is going to be, and then another maybe a little over a quarter of a mile right away down a fence line so they can bring power in, and then we're going to go underground from there to where the house is, about 250 feet. Also where that power line ends is where a shed and shop are going to be. And there's going to be a little trail from that area to where the house is. And along that way on that trail, which is about another quarter of a mile, that's where the kids are going to have a cabin. So that requires clearing, and that means a dozer and a trackhoe. That's what we opted to use. There's other ways to clear. You can do it by hand. That's a lot of work and might take a lot of time, but I didn't want this to take years to do the clearing. So we opted with a dozer and a trackhoe, and we had a company to come in and they did the clearing for us. They had an operator that operated the trackhoe and the dozer, and he was there for about 4.5, 5 days. So I'm gonna start this video here and I'll talk you through what's going on. This here is the dozer we have brought in. The dozer comes in on a flatbed trailer. It's not a huge dozer. It costs about $450 to have the dozer delivered. So when you're getting your estimate for the dozer work, you need to figure that in. They bring the dozer in, they drop it off, and the operator then comes in and he operates the dozer for however many days. But that delivery charge, you can either pay the delivery driver or you can pay the company that you're getting the operator and the dozer from. I just paid the delivery company cash myself, and I got a little better deal that way, and it worked out to be $450 for that. The cost for the dozer and the operator per day is $850. So it's $850 for 8 hours of work. And if the dozer comes in and he works for a certain amount of time, then that's all you pay him for. This coming in here now, that's the trackhoe being delivered. The trackhoe gets delivered, and it's delivered by a semi on a special trailer that can deliver it because the trackhoe is extra heavy. It weighs, I want to say, from memory, it was like 56,000 pounds. It's a big, impressive piece of equipment. It costs $650 to be delivered. That delivery is only for them to bring it to your site. So $650 to deliver the trackhoe, and it's $1,250 a day. Again, that's for 8 hours of use. So if the trackhoe or the dozer, either one, works for a while, when it's working, it's time, and when it's not working, the time is over. So you get 8 hours per day. If it works 4 hours one day and 4 hours the next day, that's 8 hours. That's 1 day of work. So, and then that would be, whether it's the dozer, that'd be $850, or the trackhoe, that'd be $1,250. And at the last day, if it only works 2 hours, you prorate it, and you only pay for that 2 hours. But that includes the equipment and the operator, fuel, everything. And if the piece of equipment goes down, you don't have to worry about paying for it when it goes down. The dozer, I'll try to embed a link in here somewhere, but the dozer, while it was out there, when we were working through track on the right side, and it went down for a little while. So that time it was down, I didn't have to pay for that. They brought it out, they fixed it, that didn't cost me anything. It just sat there waiting for the part to come in. fixed it. One of the idler wheels on the top, the bearings broke off and the idler wheel came off. This is a picture of the Traco, a video of the Traco clearing the road that comes from where the shed and the shop is going to be up to where the house is. It's a path just big enough for the Traco to work its way down through there. The dozer actually cleared most of this stuff out, and then the Traco comes through and gets the trees that the dozer can't push out of the ground. The Traco just reaches up and grabs them, breaks them off the top, moves that, sets it down, reaches over and grabs the bottom, shakes it back and forth both ways, and then plucks it out of the ground, root ball and all, shakes off the root ball, throws that over on the pile. You'll see some of that here in just a minute. And again, these are both, they took what would make us work years, day in and day out, trying to clear this, just me and my boys, my son-in-law, with chainsaws, and they make it happen fast. The wood gets mangled, it can't be used for anything. I mean, there's some wood that we're gonna cut up and use for firewood and for smoking wood and stuff like that, cooking in the smoker, but it's, you have to go in there and pick it out. Most of this is, a lot of this is pine. There's a few huge oak trees in there, and they're broke up. And then we're gonna cut the trunks of those down and try to make tables and stuff out of them, and then the rest of it will be firewood and smoking wood. So, but again, after this is all done, you pay for the delivery to your site. Unless you are particular about having equipment on your property, it'll then sit there when it's done. It'll sit there until the next job, and then the next guy pays from delivery from your property there. So you only have to pay for the delivery to the site. I had the dozer for 2 days and the Traco for 3 days. And when it was all said and done, delivery and everything, I want to say it was around, I had to do the math, it was like $5,000 or something for all the work clearing. And that was the road in, the homestead, the trail to the shop and the shed, and the right-of-way. That's 30 feet wide, and like I said, maybe a quarter mile. And also the drive into the homestead is 30 feet wide and about a quarter of a mile. And then 0.25 acres where the house is going to be in the woods. And you can see this Traco, it gets the work done. It's busy, it's getting out there. So when it's all done, and then you have the Tracos finished, the dozers finished, they park them somewhere, and then one day you'll come back and they'll be gone. They'll have another job lined up, and the equipment will come, and the tractor trailer will pick it all up, and they'll all be gone. So after that was done, we put up the gates and the fencing where the right-of-way was, because we didn't want kids with four-wheelers coming in there, or Jeeps and stuff, tearing up stuff that we had just had cleared. The dozer did some finishing work on the road and made it pretty nice. I didn't want people, and it was still, there's no road base in there, so you want to make sure to get all that blocked off so that people can't just come in there and tear up your nice new dozed road that's nice and smooth and waiting for road base and stuff. So when it was all said and done, I spent about $6,300, and I had everything cleared, gates put up, barbed wire up on the north side where the right-of-way is, and the road coming in the shop is going to be. And you know, it's looking good now. So that's a little bit of information on the cost of the clearing. Yours may be less, it may be more, but that gives you about a rough estimate of what a day's worth for each one of those pieces of equipment costs. And you might can negotiate with the guy and get a little cheaper for the dozer, or a little cheaper for the Traco. You never know. Maybe the delivery cost will be a little less for you. It may be a little more if they're coming from a little further. It just depends what the mileage is. That's why you'd want to talk with a company or an outfit that's not too far from you, so that your delivery cost doesn't outweigh any savings you might have in negotiating. If a guy offers you a great deal on an operator and a dozer and a Traco, and you got to get it delivered from 3 hours away, and the delivery cost is $1,500, you might not have saved any money. And you'd be surprised how much work a dozer can get done in one day just clearing. If you might come in and just do 2 days with the dozer and 1 day with the track hoe. If you don't got really big trees, I had really big pine trees that the dozer couldn't push down. It really took the track hoe coming in and being able to break those trees off. I mean, some oak trees so big around, 3 people couldn't put their arms around the trees, and the dozer just can't push that down. Most of the pine trees the dozer could push down, because they were only 11, 12-year-old pines, maybe 12, 13 inches in the dozer. It was kind of wet out there, so it was a perfect opportunity, perfect time for the dozer to go in there and just kind of come in and pluck them up and then push them over. He'd push them down, and then he'd just push them to the side, and then a track hoe would come through and pick up all the stuff and pile it all up into nice piles. And that's another thing too. When you're finished, when you're having your guy out there with the dozer and the track hoe, you want to be there the whole time. You're paying him. That's your money. You're the guy in charge. That operator is going to do what you tell him. And if you're not around, I wouldn't say he might goof off, but he won't know what you want him done. So he doesn't want to take trees down that you don't want taken down, and he doesn't want to make the road go in a way that you don't. So you need to be there to guide him the whole way. Tell him this tree, no. Make the road do a certain path, or this is the area we want cleared for the house, and I want these trees down, but leave these. Every tree in this 30-foot section has to come down, because the power company wants every tree out of the way for 30 feet for the right-of-way. If you do that and you mark it out, he can get busy on that. When I had the right-of-way marked, he had the whole right-of-way down in probably 4 or 5 hours, and then was getting on the trail to the house. I mean, the first day, the dozer was almost done. The second day, the dozer was finished and cleaning up. And the rest of it was the track hoe coming in and taking the big trees that the dozer couldn't get. So, I mean, it went really fast. The weather slowed us down most than anything when it started raining, and we had a week span where everything sat idle just because it just got too muddy and bogged down. But you just need to be out there to manage everything and make sure the operator is working efficiently the whole time and only doing what you want done. So there you go. Delivery cost for the dozer, $450, $850 a day. That's for 8 hours. $650 for the track hoe, $1,250 a day. And then whatever you do for gate, you may not put up a gate, so a fence or anything like that, so you may not have any other incidentals. So, and they can work pretty fast. Be leery of a guy who comes out there and gives you a ballpark figure just to do it. Sometimes it might seem too good to be true, and sometimes it might just be overpriced. A guy comes out and tells you $10,000 and is done in 4 or 5 days. Well, I only paid $5,000 for all that work for 4.5 days for both pieces of equipment. I saved $6,000 for a guy that would give me an estimate like that. So don't be afraid of a guy who tells you a price per day for equipment. Sometimes that's the best way, and most of the time that's the best way, and you know what you're going to be getting. So I hope that helps. That's from Twisted Pine. Y'all have a good day.